Today the kitchen takes me back to Grandma's house on those Sunday days when she cooked fried chicken. Oh, what memories. Welcome to All Things Food. I'm John Woods, and this is a channel where we not only love to cook, but we cook to love. And today we're cooking some fried chicken just like Grandma did. And I'm going to show you step by step, real quickly, how to get perfect chicken every single time. If you really want to kick your chicken cooking up to the next level and make it legendary just like your grandmother's, I think one essential thing that people they overlook because it's an extra step, but it's so necessary when you cook really great chicken, and that's coming up with a really good brine. And I'm going to share with you 3 basic brines today. The simplest one, the cheapest one, is actually putting some salt and some sugar and some water. And you have to have the water a little warm so you can dissolve the salt and the sugar, and letting that brine overnight, because that sugar and that salt is going to permeate into the meat. My favorite brine really is a buttermilk brine. It's a little more expensive, but the buttermilk, the acid in the buttermilk tenderizes the meat. Now, if you want to kick that up a little bit, put a little bit of hot sauce in it, and that really makes it good. The easiest brine to use is a dry brine where you just take kosher salt and you generously put it on the chicken, put it in the refrigerator, and that's going to give you a really crispy, flavorful piece of chicken. What kind of seasoning do we want in our chicken breading? Well, I did a bunch of research. I went through dozens and dozens of old cookbooks, Grandma's recipe. I looked at dozens of videos, and I discovered that there are about 12 common seasonings in Southern fried chicken. And I'm going to put those in the description box below. But I'd like to know what kind of special seasoning that you use in your chicken. When I mix up my seasoning for my chicken, I like to put the seasoning together and keep it in a separate container, so the next time I go to cook chicken, I've got a dedicated container for poultry seasoning. That way I don't have to mix it up every time. And then what I'll do is I'll just add this to my flour mixture to my taste. Here's a really good secret I'm going to share with you today, and I learned a long time ago so I don't waste all my breading, is I'll have 2 dedicated pans. One, just all my breading that's already mixed up right there with a good clean spoon. Then I have my breading pan here, and what I do is I keep the dry breading on one end, and I'm going to pull that over and bread my chicken on this end. So let's go ahead and start breading some chicken. So this is going to be the light breading. We're taking that out of our brine water that's been in there overnight with sugar and salt. And what we want to do with this is we want to dry it off real good. We want this breading to be really light, nothing heavy. It's going to be very crispy. It's all dried off. Now what we're going to do is, here's the technique I told you about. Take some of this and just put it over on there. And then another great secret, you're going to take your chicken and put it on a rack, and we're going to let that sit there for about 20 or 30 minutes so that breading can dry. It'll make a much crispier piece of chicken. Now we're going to talk about a medium breading. What I'm going to do is take my flour with the seasoning, and I'm going to just replenish that a little bit. See how I'm saving all this? I'm not going to ruin that by putting it all in here. Now we're going to talk about a medium breading. This is the dry brine chicken we're going to use. Let's go ahead and get this breaded one time, real good. And then we're going to go one more step with it. Put it back over here on my rack. Push all that down real good. We're going to use that again. Now I'm going to take a spritz bottle, and I'm going to spritz this with some water. Then we're going to come back and we're going to bread it one more time. That's going to be our medium breading. Now we're going to talk about our heavy breading, and I'm going to pull some of this chicken out of this buttermilk that's had a little bit of hot sauce put in it. Bring some of my flour right over here. Now we're going to pull that out of there, and look at that good hot sauce in there. Stick it over here, and this is going to be a good thick heavy breading. I love heavy breading. Tell me in the description box below which kind of texture breading you like. I'd be kind of curious to do a little survey on that and find out what people like. Now what we're going to do now, I'm going to take this piece of chicken and put it back in the buttermilk. Get it covered real good. Look at that. Doesn't that look fabulous? Bring it back over in here. Bring that breading right back on top of it. And that's going to be, folks, that's going to be one nice thick heavy breading right there. Look at that. When we mixed up our flour breading a minute ago, there's a secret in there that's a great secret a lot of people don't know about, but if you want that extra crunch, add you a little bit of cornstarch. So what I did about 3 cups of flour to about 1 full cup of cornstarch, mixed it in, and that's going to give you that little extra crunch and bite in your chicken. It's a great little hack. I think you'll really enjoy this little trick. Alrighty, it's time to cook some chicken. I've got my heavy duty cast iron Dutch oven here, and this is all dark meat that I'm cooking today. We're going to cook the dark meat to 175 internal temperature. Now if you're cooking white meat, you want that to be 165. Now I'm going to show you a couple techniques here about dropping chicken into a fryer. First of all, be very careful. Don't just drop it in there, just ease it in there. And when you put it in, don't put everything on top. Make certain that you stagger it around, because what will happen is it'll all stick together if you drop it all on top of one another. When I cook dark meat and light meat at the same time, I try to cook my dark meat separately and my white meat separately, because I think I can just get it more consistent and even cooking that way. And I'm cooking in batches, so what I'll do is take whatever I'm cooking and put it on a sheet pan and stick it in the oven at about 175 degrees, because it's going to hold a long, long time and stay very fresh while I'm trying to cook the rest of the chicken. Now this dark meat's going to take about 12 to 15 minutes. We're going to check the temperature, and we're going to have some really great chicken today. Alrighty, there we have it. 3 distinct pieces of chicken. That's the very light breading, which my wife would like. There's the medium breading, which my son would like, and there's the heavy breading that my daughter and I would like. Notice how crispy that is? Now that's a really crispy piece of chicken. Hope you learned something today. Be sure to hit the like button. Tell me about your chicken experience, the ingredients that you use, whether or not you like it crispy or whatever texture you like it. We're going to do a little survey here. But thanks for watching. This is All Things Food with John Woods. Not only remember, love to cook this week, but cook to love and cook you some really good fried chicken.